Welcome to Talkin VAWLS episode. Are we live yet? I think we're live. Episode number 51. I don't have any of my notes pulled up, man. Brought to you by the Outright Geekery Podcast Network at outrightgeekery.com. Also live on YouTube, courtesy of the S&B Network. Make sure you hit that like button. Go ahead and share out the link. We'll get through this together. I know a lot of you guys are already chatting it up in the live chat. We'll try to get to as many of you as we can. This isn't going to be fun. To be honest, JP didn't want to do it. I'm making him do it. You can follow us on Twitter or Facebook at TalkinVAWLS_pod. Worst loss in school history. How's guys in the live chat real quick? How's my audio? It was a little canned last week. Some people were complaining. I tried to update the settings. We'll roll with it, see what happens. But is this the worst loss in UT football history?
I mean, I don't know of another one. I mean, you could say the Wyoming game when Fulmer was fired and all that stuff. But as far as what, you was hoping that Pruitt was going to try to accomplish, because, if people sit here and think that Jeremy Pruitt is going to recover from this, he's not. It's not going to happen. I mean, I hate to say it, but there's too many red flags there today. I mean, from just total uninspired football on both sides. I mean, it was just really, really strange. It was a strange game. Didn't seem to be any coaches have any energy. Didn't seem to have any players any energy. Had a crucial third down right there that they had a chance to get off the field and get the ball back to maybe go down and score and take the lead back. And what do? We get substitution penalty. I mean, I don't know. Jeremy Pruitt was a good defensive coordinator when he had talent, but I think it's proved this year, and especially this game here today. Pruitt's not the answer, Vol Nation. He's not.
Troy Lee Nugent says in the live chat, "I've never been ashamed to be a Vol, but today I am."
Amen to that.
It sucks, man. It stings.
I mean, that program was probably worse than probably any FCS programs. But hats off to him, because that coach. I mean, you could tell from the opening whistle that he was fired up, that he's ready to go. And Tennessee and his $4 million salary, and all them other guys are making money down there. They got out coached big time. I mean, out coached big time.
I don't understand. We talk about every time Tennessee goes up against a team like this that it shouldn't even be a game. They should just blow them out. So the game plan's vanilla, right? We're not going to show a lot. We're going to save it. At what point do you say we're going to have to do something? There was no sense of urgency on either side of the ball. There was no sense of urgency on the sideline. The only people that seem to give a damn about this program are sitting in the stands or sitting in their living rooms watching. I don't understand. What does it take to get fired up to avoid losing to a team like Georgia State? At what point do you get your head out of your ass and take a little pride in what you're doing? I don't understand. There's one person on that team that showed a little effort today, and that's Juwan Jennings. That's about it. Nobody else on that football team seemed to give a damn. Offense, defense, quarterback, anybody. Nobody seemed to care.
And I mean, that doesn't surprise you. I mean, it doesn't. I mean, even the coaching staff. I mean, that's what I was getting at. I mean, they kept on showing Janey and T. Martin up there, and both of them looked like that they was like didn't even want to be there. I don't know. There's something majorly amiss. I mean, something is majorly amiss, and I don't know what's going on. I mean, I don't claim to know, but I watch enough football to know that there's something is majorly amiss down there, and I said it in 2016 or whenever it was that when Butch lost to South Carolina and we lost the opportunity to win the SEC East. I said right there, I remember texting you that night, Boogie, and you was all over me, and I was like, I'm telling you right now, Butch Jones is done, and he's done. He's done. I mean, Pruitt is done. He will never be able to recover from this. You cannot go into the opening game against a team that was 2-10 last year. You're a 26-point favorite or whatever that you were, and lose by 15 points and absolutely just get dismantled in the second half. I mean, I would imagine that there'll be several of those commits that won't be commits much longer because I mean, and can you blame them? I mean, why do they want to play for a program that can't even compete with Georgia State? I mean, I just as before I walked upstairs, Mac Brown just beat South Carolina. I mean, you know, uh, and I don't know what the answer is. I don't know who the coach is, but Pruitt's not the man. If he was, he damn sure wouldn't have lost that football game today. That's all I can say.
Rev Ryan Hoskins says, I'll never give up on my Vols, even if we lose to the University for the Blind. Well, I think they did that today. But, Rev, I'm with you, buddy, because guess what? I'll be sitting right here next week for BYU, and JP will be with me. He may have said before we went live that he was done with talking Vols. He was quitting, but here he is sitting here talking. He ain't going nowhere. He'll be here next week. He said it before. He'll probably say it again. He'll be here. I noticed he took his orange off before he went live. I didn't because I'm with the Rev. I'm going to ride or die, man. I think the program is almost dead, but I'll keep riding or dying. That's the question. You're saying it's a known fact Pruitt is done. He's done. He's finished. He cannot recover. My question is, if you're a competitor, if you're a college athlete, how do you sell it? How do you get these kids to buy in when they just lost to a team that was this hat I'm wearing on my head is older than their football program? That's not a lie. That's truth. How do you sell to that locker room moving forward? What do you pitch that we're playing for the SEC? Do you pitch we're playing for pride? Do you pitch we're playing for a bowl game? Good God Almighty, they can't beat Georgia State. What do you do, man? What do you do? It's a lot of people are coming in the live chat here. It's just sad. That's what it is. It's sad.
It is sad. I mean, I've been a Tennessee fan all my life, 40 years, 41 years, whatever. And, I mean, it's just, I've witnessed some heartbreaking losses, but, my gosh, I don't think anybody expected that today. And, again, I just don't know how that Pruitt even recovers from that, and maybe I've got a scorching hot take right here, right now, but there's too many signs out there. There's just way too many signs. And I guess what got me so on the fact that I just don't see him being able to do it is that it was the same old thing today over and over and over that we saw last year. I mean, the offensive line again was horrible. The defensive line was worse. And just no energy. I mean, there's just no excitement. I don't know. I mean, last year, people probably thought Pruitt was a little bit too excited, and I mean, they saw him kicking over the chalkboard or the dry erase board that one game and everything. But I don't know. There's something there. There is major issues down there. There's obvious that. I don't think that he can get these kids up to play. And obviously, I mean, I was shocked at the performance that Chaney had on offense today, which Garantano, I guess is what he wants to be called now. He looked like he was a true freshman in his first ever start playing against Alabama or something.
We'll get to that. We'll get to him in just a second here. We got 59, 60 now watching in the live chat. The old faithfuls to Talkin Vols, you guys know what I'm going to ask you to do. Go ahead and do us a favor and press that like button. It does help with the analytics of YouTube. It pushes our video to the top. We get more Vols in here talking about UT football. So definitely do us a favor and hit that like button if you are new to Talkin Vols. Also, be sure to subscribe. We bring you new content every Wednesday at 7 p.m. And also post-game shows like this here. Garantano, let's talk about it. KJ Tennessee says our QB has to go. He isn't for us. He holds on to the ball too long, man. But if you're going to point the blame at somebody for this offense today, it starts with Chaney and Pruitt. That's where it starts, man. This offense was a joke the entire game. They had the ball with a chance to take the lead, and they run it up the middle 3 times. It's like I said, you run that vanilla offense. At what point do you have to step it up? And we're going to lose this game if you don't do something. If you don't try to win the game, you're going to end up like we are, sitting here pissed off and angry and blaming players and kids. But the game plan was piss poor, absolutely piss poor. So you can blame Tano, whatever you want to call him, all you want to, man. But this coaching staff deserves some of the blame for what took place on that field today.
I think they deserve 100% of it. I mean, I said it last week or earlier this week on the episode. I mean, how in the world can you not get up and get excited for the very first game of the season? And I mean, that team was flat. And I mean, even when they figured out that they were in a ball game, you would expect that team to come out in the second half and at least take over. And I mean, it was the other team that did. I mean, and they continued to show no energy whatsoever. I mean, so much lack of energy. And to me, that is the most, that and the fact that we still cannot, too many penalties as far as substitution goes, and it just seems like that there's nobody on the same page. And I know that, that Chaney was new as OC, but I mean, he's been doing it for 26 years. I mean, I don't know if it's Pruitt that's meddling in the middle of it or what. And then, we've all had concerns that, wondering how that this would work out with Ansley being the defensive coordinator, and would Pruitt really give up the reins on that? And I mean, who knows? I mean, you saw both of them over there on the sidelines, but obviously we didn't have any kind of answers for them. And the offensive coordinator for Georgia State absolutely schooled Ansley and Pruitt this afternoon, absolutely schooled them.
A lot of people in the live chat are talking about the offensive and defensive line, that it starts up front. Yeah, we talked about that on Wednesday. We said we weren't going to give them an out. If they came out and had a piss poor performance this week, we were going to put them on blast, and we were going to call it like it was and know that we got problems moving forward. Clearly, we have way bigger problems than we ever thought possible. But it's so frustrating, man, that it's 3rd down and 1, and we beat this into the ground on Wednesday. Can you run the football when everybody in the stadium knows you're going to run the football? And the answer is no. They can't do it against Georgia State. How the hell are they going to do it against Florida? How are you going to do it against Georgia or an Alabama? Hell, how are you going to do it against BYU next Saturday? You can't. But it's a little more salt in the wound when Georgia State has a 4th and 1 from their own, 30 in the first half? And they're just like, watch this. We're going to line up and run it down your throat, and you can't stop us. And they did. And they go right down the field and score. Tennessee's defense could not stop them. Some people were throwing it up in the live chat that Garantano threw for over 300 yards. Yeah, some of it he picked up late. He did, man. His stat line did not look that bad. The issues are, people are saying, why is he throwing the ball so hard? And he holds the ball too long. The fumble, there at the end when they had a chance to score to take the lead. I don't know, man. But who are you going to play? Who are you going to play? Anybody got any solutions? Because I don't. I don't know that there's a quarterback on the bench that's really going to push him out of his starting spot. I still think this is his football team. My concern is not who sucks and who doesn't and the coaching staff and this, that. My concern is, how do you respond? How do you respond? Because how did you respond? You're sitting in your living room. How did you respond? F this, I'm done, I quit, I'm out. That's the easy way out. That's the coward's way out. And yeah, you're not down there on a scholarship, but if you're just sitting in your damn living room watching a football game and you're just washing your hands and say, I'm sick of this, I'm done, how do those kids in Knoxville answer? How they respond next Saturday night at 7 o'clock on the big stage again? How do you answer? It's hard to criticize a kid for folding when you don't even want to get on here and do a damn podcast.
You would think that they would have showed up today to play after all that they've been through for the last year and all the workouts and everything. Man, I'm not going to sit here and argue with that. I mean, you've known me for a long time, and you know that I have been a diehard Tennessee Vols fan, and I will still be a diehard Tennessee Vols fan.
You'll be here next week. I know that.
But I'm telling you right now, I'm not going to sit around and fret about it. I'm not. I mean, there's just no reason to. There's just no reason to sit around and just be, of course, 8 or 9 years, I mean, I've gotten over games so much quicker. I mean, it's just like anymore, it's in the fourth quarter and you don't even really care. You stop watching them and stuff. But today's just a total, just heartbreaking. I mean, because and again, I'll just be honest. I mean, that loss today set this football program back probably. I'm gonna say another three years because Jeremy Pruitt is not the answer. If he cannot win that football game today, he is not the answer. And maybe I'll end up eating crow about it. And certainly, if it happens, that'll be fine. I'm not looking for some kind of "I told you so" or whatever. I'm just telling you, based on what I saw today and the lack of intensity and what all happened last year, Jeremy Pruitt is not the answer. And whether or not Tennessee wants to go ahead and fire him at the end of the year, I don't know. But that's their call. But he's not the answer. He's not the answer. And you hope that those kids will bounce back. But again, how can I sit here and say that they are when they showed no emotion and no intensity and pretty much just went through the motions all game long today? So, how are they going to show up next Saturday? I don't know. I don't know how they are. I mean, again, I would have never thought that they would have showed up and played the way that they did today. I wasn't expecting it to be no 60-something to nothing blowout. I wasn't expecting them not to have some turnovers and some busted plays. But by gosh, I mean, does Georgia State even I mean, how many kids did they even have on scholarship? I mean, it's hard to say. Those kids are like not even recruited. And I mean, they absolutely whooped Tennessee. I mean, they absolutely took them to the woodshed. And again, hats off to them. Hats off to that freaking coach. I mean, he brought them in prepared. They knew, they made a point. They had it that, hey, we're going to win this football game. And honestly, I think Pruitt and that coaching staff took this team so lightly that that's what caused this football team to play like the way that they did today.
Yeah, their coach early on in the game, he looked confident, man. They were ready to go. Coaching staff was ready to go. The players were ready to go. The only time I saw fire out of Tennessee's football team was maybe in the secondary. They were pissed, man. And I don't – it's hard when you just watch the game and you immediately jump on the computer and you go live. It's hard. I like to go back and rewatch the game without commentary. I like to watch it play by play, watch different positions to actually be able to grasp what's going on. So it's tough. But for me, overall, I thought the secondary looked okay at times. But that defensive line got no pass rush at all. No help from the defensive line. Linebackers didn't look good. But, God, man, it's Georgia State. It shouldn't matter. Dwayne in the live chat says JG is not a dual threat. No one in the live chat says JG is not a single threat. Jordan Young says, after seeing this game, what's y'all's opinion on going bowling at the end of the season? If you listen to the show on Wednesday,
no chance.
Notice the one guy that said they were going to win 9 or 10 games is just not here. He's just disappeared. He's not on here. Listen, I still think this football team can go bowling. I think they can find a way to recover. I think we're all emotional. I think this is the worst loss in UT history, that especially our generation for sure. But I think this team can answer back. It's the first game of the season. This should piss them off, man. If you can't get fired up for your home opener and you go out there and you get embarrassed, and then everybody's turning on you, man. Everybody's going to turn on you. Fans are turning on them. Listen, look at us. We're turning on them. They're going to play with a chip on their shoulder. Can they bounce back? I don't know. I may be wrong, but I think this team can still find a way to get to a bowl game. I do. I truly believe that. And I still believe in Pruitt, man. Maybe they didn't approach this game right. Maybe he didn't do the right things. But I still believe he could be the future of this football team. But I'm also one to sit around and say that Derek Dooley could be the future or Butch Jones could be the future. But it is what it is.
We just need Fulmer to take over. That's the only thing that –
Is that the answer? Because didn't you want him fired too?
Well, yeah, but I mean, looking back on that was stupid. I guess. I mean, I don't know. I mean, he had ran his course, but
yes, the kicker did show a little emotion.
Yeah. Samaglia. he was the only one that showed up. Maybe they should have put him in there at linebacker. Maybe they should have put him in there at running back because nobody else seemed to care.
Got 55 listening in the live chat. If it's your first time being miserable with us here on Talkin VAWLS, do us a favor, hit the like button, share out the link. Let's see how many people we can get in here to drink beer together. Did you see anything positive at all? Listen, it's horrible. It's a terrible loss. We're all pissed. Any takeaways at all from the game?
Samaglia, like they said. I mean, what he kicked three field goals, I guess. One of them 48-yarder.
Yeah, I think that was his career long.
Yeah, so him, and I thought Eric Gray looked good. I
thought he looked better. Well, I thought
he said he danced around a little bit, which he probably did.
But at the time that we had that conversation, he also took a couple of runs that should have been for a loss and turned them into gains by dancing.
Yeah.
So
I just noticed his quickness. I mean, I think that he's definitely probably the only one on the team right now that has that type of shiftiness and that being able to stop and change direction and stuff like that. So him, but outside of that, I don't. I mean, how can you say any positives after losing 15 points to Georgia State? Did anybody look at their schedule last year and see how bad that they got beat by some football teams?
Oh, they're terrible. They went 2-10 last year?
Yeah.
How many games have they won in the history of their pro game? Less than 30? Was it like 29 and something? 29 and 70 something? I can't remember. Justin Hicks wants to know, hey, why didn't we run the ball in the red zone? Why didn't you just throw it up to freaking Callaway and let him go get it? Why are you getting cute and doing all this stupid? At the end of the second quarter, you got limited time. That pissed me off too. I wish our main was on here to talk about this. Jeremy Pruitt quit at the end of the second quarter. There was no intentions to go down the field and score. They were perfectly content to just run the clock out and be done with it. Broke a couple. And I think Garantano checked that play and threw a pass when he was supposed to be running the clock out. And they got a big gain, so then they went down there and tried to score. Why are you not just throwing the fade when you got limited time on the clock? Just throw it up to one and let him go catch it.
I mean, that's what I couldn't figure out. I mean, I knew that they were going to try to run the football and be physical and show that they could run it. But when they realized that it was a football game, I thought in the third quarter or even in second quarter that we'd start just standing up and just throwing 6 or 7 yard out passes to Jennings and Callaway and Palmer and making ourselves in a down and distance situation because that's what Georgia State was doing. I mean, every time it came up for Georgia State to get on third down, it was 3rd down and 1. I mean, it was every single drive. And again, I mean, just totally outcoached. It was almost like that Tennessee was using this as an actual scrimmage, and I really think that's what they thought they were doing. But at some point in time, you have to scrap that, and you got to quit substituting. And I mean, they never did settle on anybody on the offensive line. I mean, it was like just a revolving door all game long. That one big sack. They had Wanya Morris in there playing guard, and he totally whipped.
Why is he a guard? Why is he a guard?
And that's the thing. I mean, the kid is a true freshman. Get him in one position and let him learn that. I mean, you're asking too much of him, and I don't know. I mean, I'm just shocked. I mean, I'm shocked that Chaney would even go for it. And maybe Pruitt's overriding all of it. But I'm telling you what, Jeremy Pruitt ate a big old piece of humble pie today. He ate a big old piece of humble pie.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what he says on the coach's show tomorrow. I'm sure he'll be a real pleasant person tomorrow.
I don't know. I'm starting to think that he's not a Bama spy.
Oh, God. Conspiracy theories first right here on Talkin VAWLS. I don't know. I'm like you. I wonder. That was not Chaney being let loose. That was not Jim Chaney doing what he wanted to do. Period. End of story. I don't care what you tell me. That was not Jim Chaney's offense just being ran to its full potential.
Yeah. I don't know what it was, but whatever it was, it got Tennessee beat. So, and Jeremy Pruitt's the head football coach, so it's on him. So, Pruitt probably needs to be looking for a different shade because he won't last much longer in Knoxville.
Fastball 2611 says, why can Auburn start a true freshman at quarterback and Tennessee can't? I don't think that matters today. I don't think it matters who played
It wouldn't matter.
Today.
I mean, Garantano, he was running for his life again, and we said it on here Wednesday. We've said it on every one of these podcasts. I mean, until that offensive line starts holding their own, and keeping rushers from running in there free and everything. Yeah, I'll admit Garantano played horrible today. He played horrible, but I don't think the answer was putting in Maurer or Shroud. I definitely don't think that at all. But I don't know. Pruitt couldn't get in the locker room fast enough. I didn't see it. I actually turned it off.
I turned it off as soon as they recovered the onside kick. I bailed, but not that it mattered anyway.
Oh, I didn't even know Tennessee even scored. Did they score?
Yeah, they went down and scored. Jennings, JG to Jennings, so important, so crucial to the future.
Yeah. Whatever. What a freaking joke. What a joke. What an absolute embarrassment. This fan base has endured so much crap over the last 10 years with just absolute joke of a football program, just a joke of administration, just an absolute joke of head coaches down there. Honestly, we've had to endure some idiot rolling out some stupid orange dog on the practice field, some statue to them stupid barrels that Butch Jones had, all that crap that he done and Dooley done and everything. And then we get this darn, just disgusting. It's just absolutely disgusting.
Troy Sharp says, I agree. Pruitt was handcuffing the offense. Same short passes, short of the first down markers. Yeah, that was another one that pissed me off. 3rd and 3. But I don't know if that's the play call, as much as it was Garantano checking down, because that's what he loves to do. Every 3rd down, he loves to go to the safe throw when the defense just playing off and let him have it, and then just making the tackle. That's all you got to do to stop Tennessee on a 3rd down.
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know.
What's the logic to that? What's the logic? Why are you handcuffing your offense? Why are you doing that? What's the point? It got you beat today. So what's the point?
It was so bad.
Florida can't see what we do. Guess what? They're going to see it next week. So Alabama can't find out. Guess what? They're going to see it too. Just go out there and whip somebody's ass and quit being cute. I don't understand. I don't understand it. Don't understand. Maybe they just suck, though. Maybe they're just terrible. Maybe they're not handcuffing the offense. Maybe they're just terrible. And we just say that every time they play another team that sucks to make excuses for why this team can't go out and beat somebody 63-0, because they can't. Who they going to beat 63-0? South High School? Elizabethton? Maybe. They'd probably find a way to get in the end zone.
If I didn't think any better, I'd have thought Pruitt had money on this game.
Yeah, one of your conspiracy theory buddies is in the live chat asking if Pruitt.
I'm serious. I was sitting there and I'm like, what in the world is going on? Because here we are, just keep on rotating linemen in, and it's a darn football game, and I'm like, why are you doing that? And then who was it that caught a pass there in the 4th quarter? It was that Tillman kid.
Yeah.
And he's like 8th string wide receiver, and I'm like, he's in the game. And you got Jennings and Callaway and Palmer, and you're throwing to Cedric Tillman. It just, I don't know. It's just, I thought I was watching the Twilight Zone. I really did. It's actually comical now, because you know what, Jeremy Pruitt, you make $4 million or whatever a year. Just leave, just go on, just leave and get out.
Who's going to coach? Who's going to coach? Me and you.
Put Chaney in. Chaney's 1-0 as a head coach down there. I'm telling you right now, Pruitt's done. He's done.
What do you guys think in the live chat? We got 56 people hanging out here for Talkin Vols Live. Be sure to hit the like button. Jump in that live chat. Let us know what you thought. Do you think Jeremy Pruitt's done, or can he recover from this loss? Flood that live chat. I want to see what you guys think.
You know, it's just too hard to compete in the SEC as it is. You know, I mean, it's just way too hard to do it. And you know, Tennessee doesn't have just a fertile high school pipeline that they can just pull from like Georgia and Florida and Alabama can. So, you know, Tennessee has to go out of state. Yes, I mean there is some better kids in state, but you know it's a challenge to even get them when you're losing football games. And how do you sell that you're turning the program around when you come out the very first game of the season when everybody should be just absolutely just jacked to no end to hit somebody and to go out and dominate another opponent, and you lay such an egg like that? I mean, you don't. There's no way that you can sell that program like that. There is absolutely no way. And the recruiting is the lifeblood of a college football program. And I won't be shocked at all if there's not decommits by the end of next week. I just don't see it happening. Especially if he loses to BYU and starts out 0-2.
Troy Sharp agrees with you, says Pruitt is done. He would have to pull off some miraculous wins now to win the fan base back. You know what?
Yeah.
I think he wins 6 or 7 games.
Goes bowling,
wins a bowl game. I said if. Let me finish. I think if he does that and this team finds a way to go bowling, I think people will get over it. I do. It's terrible. It's a horrible loss, man. It's one we won't forget for a while. But I think if they somehow find a way to bounce back and go bowling, we'll forgive it.
It'd have to be a miracle. Maybe Peyton Manning can dress out in Garantano's outfit out in his and show up, and maybe Al Wilson can show up or something, because whoever that they put out there today sure ain't gonna do it. I can tell you that. And the coaching staff was probably a bigger letdown than almost anything was. You know, I just don't understand it. I mean, I don't know how that those kids can put all of that time, effort, and energy into it.
Where was that time, effort, and energy today? That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. I just don't see how in the world that you can put all the time, effort, and energy into preparing yourself to play a football game, knowing that you've got, 12 games, 12 Saturdays a year that you are basically preparing for the entire year for. Those other 52 days or whatever, 350 days that you are preparing for those 12 days each year. And then you come out like that at home, the opener against an inferior opponent, and get absolutely just manhandled and mauled and totally just, I don't know. I mean, coaches have a lot that they need to look in the mirror and, look themselves in the eye and say, what's up, and we got to make some changes. But there's some football players on that team that needs to as well. But, I think it all starts with leadership. So it's the environment of Knoxville. Head coach has little effect of what's going on. So is he saying Fulmer's running the show?
Dude, there's dude I go to church with that may be him under some fake name. From the moment that, he hates Fulmer, and he talks about stuff that goes on behind the scenes down there. I don't know. I like Fulmer, whatever. Are we the Cleveland Browns of the NCAA? Nope, we're worse. Yep. Sean Calvert says Georgia State has only had a football program for 9 years. I've had this Randy Rogers band hat for longer than they've had a football team. Robert Neal says we were vanilla and it bit us in the ass. Amen. Robert, I agree. That's what I keep saying and keep beating into the ground. Why do you do that? Can anybody tell me in the live chat what the benefit to that is? Because we use that as an excuse every time Tennessee doesn't blow somebody out. Well, today they got beat because of it. But it's not just that, man. You should be able to go out there with a vanilla game plan and beat the hell out of Georgia State. It shouldn't even be a game.
Why didn't we open it up in the second half then when it was 17-14?
Exactly.
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 I'm just not buying it. I'm just not buying it. I just don't think that they were prepared, and honestly, I don't think that they care. And when I see the lack of effort from both the coaching staff and the players, and the lack of energy and excitement, that's when I'm like, then why do I want to sit here and get all worked up over it and invest time, money, effort, and energy into following them when it's obvious that they don't care? I mean, and that's the way I feel tonight after this football game, that there is very few players on that football team and very few coaches, it appeared, that really cared, you know.
I think 15 cared. I think
You
15
know,
cared. But
maybe
as
maybe it's gotten to the point that these coaches are making so much money that really they don't care.
Live for Your Die says Butch Jones was a joke, yet had significant victories from time to time. Well, you could argue that Pruitt beat Auburn and a really good Kentucky team last year. So the problem I have with Pruitt is beating the teams you should beat, like Vanderbilt and like Georgia freaking State. James Gentry says they were playing their backups that last series. People continue to say we have a great field goal kicker. I guess that's a plus. Fans got to stop spending money if you want to force real change. Okay. My retaliation to that is, what do we want? What do you want, JP? You want change. You want to run Pruitt out of town. And then what? It's the same conversation we had with Dooley. It's
I just want to win football games.
So do I. But what's the answer? Who's going to come to this dumpster fire? What are you going to go hire Nick Saban? Let me know how that works out.
You're not going to hire him. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, look at
when Mike Gundy says he's turned down the Tennessee job 3 times. I
know. But I mean, honestly, I mean, look at the coaching search the last time, and what all that went through, how we ended up with Pruitt, and I mean, I think Pruitt's a good defensive football coach, but he's out of his league as a head coach. He is, and that's not a bad thing, because how many darn coordinators have been excellent coordinators, but they're just not cut out for the head job. So there's Devin. What's up, Devin? UTC is best UT team in Tennessee. Yeah, sadly, so,
buddy. Memphis might give UTC a game. We have to see that on paper.
Yeah.
Guys, I don't have a lot to say. I'm just scrolling through the live chat and letting you guys carry the conversation, which I kind of enjoy. We should do this more often. Troy Sharp says, dead on, they don't care. That's what's so disheartening. And it is, because we're sitting up there and I feel sick to my stomach over a football game that I have no control over. None.
We don't. And that's why I said I'm wiping clean.
Stop saying that, because you're not. It's not the truth. You'll be right there next Saturday at 7. Hell, you'll be right here next Wednesday at 7 doing Talkin VAWLS live, predicting them to make it to a bowl game and win 9 games.
No. That football team will be lucky to win 2 games. If you look at that schedule with the way that they played today, I don't know where 2 wins is.
Smokey Payton says it's not Pruitt, it's the O-line coach that needs to go.
I mean, I'm not going to argue that really, but Pruitt and Friend are best friends. So, but Pruitt's in over his head. I mean, it's obvious. It's obvious. There is some kind of lack of motivational something there that he is not doing, and it's obvious. I mean, there is major issues there. There's something that is just not right. There's something that's not meshing there between him, the players, and the other coaches. I don't know what it is.
Did you think that before today?
I did a little bit last year. Yeah, I did, but I really thought that it was more just the fact of him not trusting Helton as far as that goes. But it was obvious today. I mean, I don't know how a Tennessee fan can sit there and say after watching that that was probably the worst effort. I mean, I know that that we got beat by Kentucky by a wide receiver playing quarterback, and I know that we lost to Wyoming and all that other jazz, but I mean, that was a bad football team. I mean, that was a horrible football team, and they took Tennessee to the woodshed. I mean, absolutely to the woodshed. And again, I just don't understand how that you can put so much effort and energy in to those football games and come out there so flat and so uninterested. Again, if it was the eighth or ninth game of the season and yeah, you're tired and you just came off some emotional conference game and you bring Georgia State in, yeah, I mean, I could see it being a letdown game. But the first game of the season,
Mohammed
I don't
Fayyad,
know.
I hope I pronounced that right. Fayyad. Why was there no effort, no sense of urgency, nothing? That's what hurt us. That's what I cannot wrap my
Yeah,
mind around. I
can't
get.
either.
Listen. I 100%. That first half did not surprise me in the least. I not at all. Listen, what did we say? What did we say Wednesday? Just come out and do what you're supposed to do and blow them out early and often and get all these guys in playing time, backup quarterbacks, blah 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 blah. Still, all that said, none of this surprised me in the first half. But
No, it didn't either.
I thought when they went in that locker room, there would be a sense of urgency when they came out, and we would see the offense open up a little bit more. We would see a little bit more blitzing on defense. That defense, absolutely atrocious, just terrible across the board.
That defensive line, I mean, I could probably blocked them.
The
I mean,
linebackers were terrible too.
yeah, I know.
Taylor was over pursuing. I felt like I
Yeah,
texted that 72 times because he was
yeah.
over pursuing like crazy.
Him and Johnson both were. I mean, that's why I'm not even for sure that they even prepared for this team. Honestly, I mean, I'm really not for sure that they even gave this team any looks at all. I don't know. I don't know. Again, Pruitt just done himself in. So
Well, Jordan
which I
Young
mean,
just said in the live chat that Pruitt's press conference, he blamed it all on him. Of course he did, because that's
well,
what he
good.
does. I mean, that's what he does. But
well, yeah. I mean,
now, what are you going to do to fix it? What are you going to
you
do to
know,
fix it?
that's better. That's better than the last used car salesman we had down there. But I mean, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Yeah. I mean, what are you going to do to fix it, Pruitt? What are you? You know.
Troy Lee feels like the cheerleaders could have done a better job, honestly. uh, 52 listening in the live chat. You guys know what I'm going to say. Do us a favor. Smash that like button. All 52 of you. Only 24 of you have pressed it. Do you not like us? Are you mad at us? Just do us a favor. And how many headsets you need?
I don't know, but my ears are hurting. So.
What pisses me off the worst was Darnell Wright outperformed everybody, but he wasn't starting. Why?
I'm not even going to pretend to know the answers about how this coaching staff made the decisions on who played and who didn't. I don't know. I mean, that's why I said I don't understand it. I mean, it's just mind blowing, absolutely mind blowing. And I mean, if it was an NFL, it would be different because NFL recruiting is not involved. But anybody that follows college football knows that it's all about the recruiting. And I guess to me, that's what I look at as far as long term and what I feel like that Tennessee needs to do to get back being competitive and losing today. That just makes it a million times harder. And yeah, I mean, people could probably say that in Saban's first year he lost to Louisiana Monroe or whoever it was, but it's totally different now. I mean, it's just totally different 12, 13 years ago. I mean, the SEC is just so much better from top to bottom. I mean, there's just so much that and when you lose to Georgia State, I mean, do you not think that Harrison Bailey's going, oh man, that maybe I need to reconsider this? You not think
that first year, I think those big recruits are going, I got a chance to come in and play right off the bat. But when it starts to become repetitive and normal, you start thinking, should I go elsewhere?
Yeah. And I guess, that's what's another thing is just so disappointing that I really had high hopes with this coaching staff. I mean, if you look at them on paper, you think that there's some pretty good coaches down there, and and you hear all these reports about how hard that they're coaching them up, and then they come out there and they do that today. I mean, it just I don't know, something does not add up. Something doesn't. I mean, I'm serious. I don't know if the guy had like $1 million on the money line or something. I don't know against spread. I don't know, but it to me it is darn suspicious.
Stop. You got to stop that, man. We're going to become the conspiracy theory podcast. We got 50 people in here. You're running them all off. I don't know. Muhammad Fayad says, thank you guys for going live after the game. I needed some true fans to vent to. This is almost therapeutic, man. It feels good to be in good company and just vent through this together. And that's the plan going forward, to do the post-game show if possible. BYU will probably do on Sunday, but we'll also be here Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern, doing the pregame show for the BYU game. Troy Sharp wants to know, how does this affect our recruits? Well, JP said it earlier. We think we're going to see some names coming out later this week. It would not surprise me at all if you see some guys open their commitment. But it's hard to tell, man. It's hard to tell.
Yeah, I mean, it is, but I just don't know how that you can keep on selling it when you're not making progress. I mean, that's the thing. Yeah, I mean, you can sell playing time, but to me, these kids see, how hard it is for this offense to move, or how this defense can't stop anybody, and they're going to be questioned because these other schools are going to be like, hey, BJ Ojolari, did you see how Tennessee couldn't get to the quarterback against Georgia State? Did you see that? That means that they're not able to coach. You need to come to Georgia or Auburn or whatever, and I'll make you a first round draft pick. I mean, that's the way that recruiting is, and you got to think these are 16 and 17-year-old kids, and they're seeing all that stuff. So yeah, I mean, I won't be shocked at all. I mean, I fully expect it. I mean, fully 100% expect Tennessee to lose some of their commits over this, and maybe, hopefully I am like the biggest overreactor in Tennessee Vols history, and Pruitt comes out next Saturday night and beats the snot out of BYU, and we end up winning 7 ball games again somehow or something like that. And, this loss is all forgotten by the time that, the end of November rolls around. But from what I saw today and the way that the team struggled last year, especially at the end of the year, it just really makes you think something's up. Something's up.
But what does that even mean?
I guess that he's not able to get them to buy in. I guess. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of.
How can you not buy in the first game of the season?
No,
I don't understand.
I don't either. I mean, that's what I've said here and said. I don't understand how that you cannot be at least pumped up and excited and ready to just ball out that first game. I mean, it just makes zero sense to me. And who knows? I mean, none of us are down there. We're not in the team meetings. We're not at practice. So it's just all speculating based on, how that we feel. And yeah, we're overreacting because we're fans, and other than being fans, we don't have anything else invested in it. And that's what fans do. But I don't know. I'm tired of it.
I'm so confused, guys, in the live chat. Robert Neal, these coaches have won everywhere besides UT. Is the school handcuffing the football team? I'm like, JP, something is off. What does that even mean? I don't understand what this means. What do you mean? Like, in certain situations, I guess I can understand what you guys are talking about. And then here's another one. Been saying this for a long time. Who is really running this program? Somebody explain this to me and just stop speaking in code. Explain it to dumb old Boogie. I don't understand what's going on.
I mean,
I get it with certain decisions or academics or whatever, but you're playing Georgia freaking State.
State. I know.
It should matter. I should be able to sit up there with Big Fat Jim Chaney and call the plays like I'm playing the Xbox, and it shouldn't matter.
It
should be a
shouldn't.
blowout.
It shouldn't. It shouldn't. But yeah, so I don't know. Again, I mean, I have no idea. I don't know what the answers are. I just know that it stinks. It's horrible as a fan, as a fan that looks so forward to football season. That just has so much excitement and loves this time of year. And then I sat there today and watched that whole game and just really didn't have any emotion at all because I was sitting there thinking, I've seen this happen before, and you sitting there thinking, we'll squeak out a win and we'll win by, 3 or 6 points or something like that. And we'll be like, well, at least we won and everything.
That's what I was thinking the whole time.
Yeah. But the longer that went on in the fourth quarter and then they just run, after we kicked the field goal and go up and they just basically just run back down the field without us even putting up any resistance at all and go in and score, you knew right then that it was over. It is like last season never ended. Yeah, I know it. Yeah. That's what's got me concerned about it because, Pruitt's even made the comments that he felt like that, that he was almost like he was too hard on them at the end of the year and got them tired. And then, he's made comments of, how that he didn't try to, really almost like get to know the players as well and stuff like that and everything. I don't know. There's something up there. There is something up that these kids were not excited to play football today. I don't know what it was, but they had something else on their mind or, they just weren't prepared. They weren't ready. I don't know. I have no idea. Again, I have no idea.
Getting email notifications. I can't multitask. We got 57 listening in the live chat. Oh, you new listeners, yeah, go ahead and smash that like button for old Boogie. But something else you guys can do, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Hit that little bell for notifications. It will send you a notification every time we go live, Wednesday nights at 7, and also Saturday nights, either after the game or Sunday evening. We'll do a post-game show, just depending on circumstances of who goes to the game and what's going on.
So this KGA Tennessee powers that be believe a certain offense. So are they saying like the administration, like the chancellor and the president and all that stuff?
I wonder if that's a Fulmer comment.
I guess. I mean that's what I'm assuming too, because administration, they're not going to care. I mean, they're not going to do anything like that.
This comment right here sums up my feelings exactly, 100% to the T. John B. Feels like a curse. Every single year, it's the same thing. New coach, recruits, fresh new attitude, and then the letdown comes. How long will this go on? This program is cursed. Are they going to do a 30 for 30 on Tennessee football after everybody in this live chat's dead and gone, and they're going to talk about the Fulmer curse, and it's going to be like hundreds of years later before Tennessee is ever relevant again for the way they treated Fulmer on his way out the door?
Well,
30 for 30. We looked bigger. Maybe that's why they were so tired, because Coach Fitz just has them doing powerlifting, and they're all gassed up and jacked, and it takes all that energy and oxygen to those big stud muscles. I need another PBR.
It didn't help. Whatever. I don't know. I'm just frustrated.
Everybody wants to know why they played like they didn't care. That's the question of the evening. And nobody can answer that.
No, nobody can answer that. Only those players. And not just the players, coaches. Why did they coach like they didn't care? I mean, that's what I couldn't understand either. I mean, there was never anybody on the sideline like in those guys' face and getting their attention or anything. I don't know. It was strange. I mean, I'm telling you, it was absolutely just, you would have thought, I mean, we see like 3 minutes worth of practice highlights and you hear Chaney like running and screaming and, jawing at them like crazy. And it was like that, it was a game, and of course I know that he was in the box, but somebody down there, I mean, somebody light a fire underneath somebody. I don't know. Strangest, probably the strangest Tennessee football game that I can remember that I have ever watched. I'll just be honest with you.
Yeah.
I mean,
I agree.
just the most disappointing and strangest performance that I can remember that I have ever watched.
Coaches are UT puppets. Now, that's what you guys keep saying, but who's the puppet master?
Yeah,
That's what I don't understand. Is it a Haslam? Is it Fulmer? Who is it? Who is it? Dang it. YouTube won't demonetize me. I don't care. I want to know the cold, hard facts. It's a Haslam. It's not a Clinton. Wait, I didn't say that. Time to break out the holy water. They need more Jesus. What is going on in the live chat? Gosh, I'm just trying to scroll through these. Let's see. Yep. Wookie's Gone Wild. Cool name, by the way. Just got on, but Jennings, Gray, Callaway, and DWA give we'll just say damn. How about that? I agree, man. I said earlier that I think 15 he was heartbroken when he scored that touchdown there with 2 seconds left in the game, and he walked off, and him and Callaway kind of embraced on the sidelines. You can tell, man, 15 has heart. You can see it. I think this impacts him. So we need 22 guys like that. And the secondary was jumping down the defensive line's throat, man. But too little, too late. Jimmy Haslam. There comes the Haslam.
Yeah,
man.
I'm telling you right. Philip Fulmer has too big of an ego to take that AD role and be Haslam's puppet. He ain't doing it. I'm not buying that at all. I'm not buying it at all. If there's anybody that's handicapping the offense, it's Pruitt. I mean, that's just the way it is. If there's anybody at all that's handicapping the offense, and honestly, after what happened last year with Helton, and then seeing that abysmal effort today, I'm starting to believe that sounds like that to me that he is.
I don't know.
Which is going to do nothing but just run him out of Knoxville really, 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 really quick.
I don't know if anybody really wants me to do this right now after today's game, but I'm going to do it anyway. Why not? Because this is available only for a limited time. The official Talkin VAWLS t-shirt. You can get it. The link is in the description, bonfire.com/Talkin VAWLS. Available for a limited time only for 4 more days. You guys have 4 more days to order this shirt, and then it's gone potentially forever. We have gray. We got the dark gray, black, orange, and white. They're good quality t-shirts, so check them out. Again, $19.99, limited time only. So jump out there. They'll be gone before we're back on for the next podcast. So consider picking up the official Talkin VAWLS t-shirt.
Yeah, and like order one, and then next week when we lose to BYU, heck, you can burn it out in your front yard.
Yeah, what's going to happen is JP will quit the show and everything will die, but you'll have that last piece of merchandise.
That's right.
Anything else you want to say?
There should have been a lot of those coaches that should have hit that on the way out today, because I don't think that they did. I don't know if you guys can see that. That's that. I will give my all for Tennessee today. There was very few coaches and players that done that. I can just, God, just disgusting, just absolutely disgusting. Oh well.
Armaine sent me a text, said I'm not one bit envious of you guys tonight. Rest in peace, Armaine, former Talkin VAWLS co-host. Man, I think that's going to wrap it up. I hate to leave you guys. There's 60 of you in here hanging out with us. We really appreciate you guys showing up, especially after a heartbreaking loss. You know, I sent a text message to old DA, one of the founding fathers of the Talkin VAWLS podcast, and I told him, I said, I don't even want to do this. Nobody's going to show up, but here we are, biggest show yet after the biggest loss of our generation's history. So I think that speaks volumes for this group, for this fan base that we have here with the Talkin VAWLS podcast. I think you guys care. I think you guys are frustrated. You're mad. You're angry. You're pissed off. But I think everybody in this live chat is going to be right there next Saturday at 7 o'clock when they kick off against BYU. And we'll be rooting for our team because we love them. We're passionate about them. It's frustrating only because we care. If we didn't care, we wouldn't be so upset about it. You know, we would have been out mowing the yard or doing something else. We wouldn't even watch the game today. But we do care, and that's why we were there, and that's why it's heartbreaking. That's why it sucks. Any final words you want to drop, JP?
No, just probably the most disappointing, well, definitely the most disappointing opening game that I can remember. But, I mean, just all of the, I guess, the hope and, thinking that, that we got some good coaches down there and, that we felt like that there was a chance to build upon that and, go into maybe next year. But all that's gone. I mean, that may be totally harsh and say that, certainly one game does not make a season, but I just don't see how that you recover from losing to such a bad football team like that and make yourself bowl eligible playing in the SEC. I just don't see it because, we're going to get Batuli back at some point in time. Who knows if we'll get Ross Thompson back? Who knows that? But the offensive line, I mean, they're still, playing patty cake with people and just letting people just run clear. I mean, it still amazes me when you look at how difficult it is for Tennessee to run the football. And then you see other teams just living in our backfield. I mean, just absolutely living in our backfield. It just, I don't know. It just, it blows my mind. It does. But no, that's it. Just a pitiful performance, and we'll see what Do It Pruitt does from here on out.
Troy Lee Nugent said his final thoughts are he should have mowed his damn yard. I agree. I should have mowed mine too. I need to.
Amen.
I had mowed it in about 2 weeks.
I should have mowed mine too and not even sat down and watched that baloney of crap that we watched.
Well, that's going to wrap it up for Talkin Vols episode number 51. It wouldn't be Talkin Vols if I didn't ask you to smash that like button on the way out the door. As soon as we end this broadcast, the comments are open. Jump down there. Let us know what you thought of this episode, what you enjoyed, what you didn't enjoy, what you want to see moving forward. We'll be here on Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern for the BYU pre-show and predictions. Dobber will be back with us. JP's going to try to quit Talkin Vols. I'm going to talk him out of it. I just got one thing left to say, and that is go Big Orange.